Hey guys, it's Abby, and today we are going to be making some Among Us crewmates, and possibly an imposter. Anyway, you guys know I cannot draw or freehand to save my life, so I did print out the crewmates with their Christmas accessories. It was actually really easy to unlock. I just had to change the time on my computer and open up the game. So I got them, and apparently they just stick around forever, because even when I put the time back, they're still there. So if you're looking for some new accessories and want to celebrate the holidays, there you go. Anyway, I am using clear shrink plastic today, and I'm going to be using some Posca paint pens, chalk pens. I don't know what you want to call them. And here I am using the extra fine tip, and I'm switching to the fine tip, which is actually a felt tip, and the extra fine tip is a plastic tip. So it wasn't really that great for coloring it in. You can see here the difference, actually quite big difference. So I switched over to the felt tip, and I am filling in the outline. It does use a lot of ink, and I did go through a few pens making this, but that is okay because the end result was very satisfying. Anyway, as you can see here, I'm just continuing on with the outline, making sure I get all the black spaces and filling them in. When I was coloring this, it felt like it didn't feel right. It felt ugly. I'm like, why does it look so blotchy and gross? But once I peeled it off the paper, it was a good outline and it was fine. So don't give up like I almost did. Anyway, I'm filling in the blank spaces here because, you know, we want it to look even and nice. I think when it shrinks down, it'll look fine even if you don't fill them in. But anyway, here are all the Christmas ones that I traced. I did this white line here so I could do the glow of the lights later, and I knew where to cut. Anyway, I'm just cutting out each of these pieces, and this was a pain. This was a thick shrink plastic, and I kept tearing it in the corners and stuff, but worked out okay. Anyway, I'm filling in the accessories. I'm using Posca for this as well because it is clear shrink plastic. Colored pencils would not stick, so we're just doing this. You could use paint as well. And I mirrored the image so I could draw the little shield reflection part because I just didn't want to mess it up. I have no faith in my skills to draw a straight line. So I'm just filling in the rest of the accessories here, and then we are going to start shrinking, the most exciting part. This is where I made a big boo-boo. I pressed down on my nib to get some more ink because it was a little dry, and basically it splooted. So I am absorbing the excess ink here and then filling in the blank space. So please be careful when you're using Posca pens. And in case you were wondering, this is sped up to 1,200%, so it took quite a while to color all of these. Anyway, here we go. This part is the most anxiety inducing. For the most part, the pieces did curl up, but with a little nudge, they uncurled themselves and were fine. But as you can see, they don't look great at first, and every time I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack. And if you want to prevent this, you can put a thin layer of foil or wax paper over the top to keep it flat. I just like to be able to see my shrink plastic when it's shrinking so I know when to take it out. Now this piece, I'm calling this piece an imposter because I didn't let the Posca paint dry and I remade it 2 times and it failed both times. So if your favorite color is pink and you like playing with pink, I'm sorry because you are not in this video anymore. Here are all the pieces minus the gift that was supposed to be pink. I'm filling in the rest of the accessories and a little helmet shield. I could have layered the Poscas before shrinking them, but if you layer Posca paint too much, Posca ink, it gets really chunky when you shrink it, and it doesn't shrink quite as well or evenly, so I like separating it into layers like this when possible. Now I'm going to add the color. I'm using UV resin, a little bit of Padico liquid pigment. You can use any pigments that you want. And of course my favorite glitter mix, popping some bubbles, and just doming this guy with the resin. I'm gonna cure it with my little lamp and repeating for the remaining crewmates. All of them are colored now, so I have them flipped over on the outline side, and I'm doming with clear resin so they look shiny and sleek. Also makes the resin behind look a little bit more vibrant and sparkly. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the outline is on one side and the resin and coloring is on the other side, the back side. So I feel like it gives it a little bit more depth. It depends on how thick your shrink plastic is, but I like how these turned out. Usually when I do shrink plastic pieces with colored pencils, I do it all on one side, but in this case, I decided to use both sides. So they are all domed. I am peeling them off here, and we shall take a look at the final result. They look so shiny and good. They look really pretty held up to the light, and I think I'm gonna turn these into pins. Let me know what color you usually play as and what your imposter strategy is. Please leave a comment down below. It means a lot to me. A thumbs up. And if you don't have notifications turned on, please hit that bell, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!